the accomplishment of individuals with disabilities. Proceeds benefit Special Olympics and other charitable organizations in our communities. Register, ride, donate, sponsor, volunteer, or participate today. Visit dreamride.org to learn more. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to Stay Alive and Fit with Liz Goodman, a new innovative radio show that taps into what's happening now in the medical industry, featuring fitness experts, foodies, and medical professionals. Get it right here and be an active participant in your health. Mixed messages about what is best for your health can make you feel like you're on a runaway train. So hop on and have some fun while Liz navigates this medical mystery ride. Call 888-565-1470 and ask Liz, your source for the latest medical technology and long life advice. All aboard. Here's Liz Goodman.
Hi, and welcome to Stay Alive and Fit with Liz Goodman. It's a new innovative radio show that tapped into what's happening now in the medical industry. So I'm not a doctor or a nurse, and the sight of blood does make me squeal. However, I'm a qualified expert journalist and documentary producer, and I have more than 20 years' experience working in film and television as a producer and broadcast journalist for shows like Geraldo Rivera, Montel Williams, Gordon Elliott, and I also produced and wrote news copy for CNN and segments of WPTV in South Florida and WPLG in Miami back in the day. I don't even want to tell you when that day was. So this show is about making people learn how to feel fit, fabulous, and focused. And there's many different ways that we go about doing that. Personally, my goal with this show is to help navigate you through the medical mystery maze of information that's thrown at you every single day on the internet, on TV shows about doctors, and just in general from your doctor and what you read every day. But you don't necessarily know exactly all the answers to your questions. And these days, because it's so tight with Obamacare and it's so tight with finances with everybody, and especially the way the doctors are being paid, many of them can't afford to keep you in their offices for more than 15 minutes, and they kind of shove you right on out the door to the next patient. So the opportunity with this show is to provide VIP medical information to the masses. So what I want you to do is call up at 888-565-1470 or email me at liz@stayaliveandfit.com or call in during our program at the number I told you, 888-565-1470. Like us on Facebook at stayaliveandfit.com and let us know what it is that you want to learn more about. And that's our goal on this show, to get the answers you seek to your medical mysteries. So whether you're 20 or 40 or 80, male or female, mixed messages about what's best for your health can make you feel like you're on a runaway train. So get on board and take a medical ride with me, and we're going to stop at every station to help you find the answers you seek. So before we get involved with tonight's show, I just want to tell you that the purpose of this show and every single week this month has been Men's Health Month, which is what June is. It's Men's Health Awareness Month, and the purpose is to heighten the awareness of preventable health problems and encourage early detection and treatment of diseases among men and boys. And as we all know, men and boys are not like girls and women who run to the doctor when they break a nail. They're like, beg you, plead you, they have to be on death's door before you can get them to go to a doctor. And a lot of the issues we've discovered over the last couple of weeks are things like prostate and, what things to eat, what things not to eat. This week, we are going to focus the show on something that's extremely important that 1 out of every 3 men get detected with, specifically beginning at like the age 45. It's called hypertension. I didn't even know what hypertension was until I actually looked it up on the internet today, and it just really means high blood pressure. But it's extremely dangerous, and it is deadly. So I have with me tonight some amazing guests. You've seen Dr. Snipes before. He's fabulous. He's very informative. So Dr. Frank Snipes is here, and he practices with a great practice which is called Dr. Presti's medical health group. And tonight we are fortunate enough to have Dr. Presti's wife, who's also his office manager, and she runs his office, and she specifically runs the organic, natural aspect of the medical practice, which I love because I'm a very organic girl, being in California for many years. I love everything organic and natural. She's a certified life coach and hypnotist, an author and a public speaker. Like me, she holds a degree in broadcast journalism. She's a spokesperson and a wonderful, beautiful woman who's sitting next to me. She can heal you by just doing hypnosis and meditation and a lot of natural remedies, which is what she focuses her aspect of the practice on. So tonight we have sitting with us Dr. Frank Snipes and Eve Presti, Dr. Presti's wife. And before I kick it to them and give you more information and let them talk to you about themselves, I just want to remind you again that you need to call me at 888-565-1470 or email me at Liz@StayAlive and Fit your questions, and we will help you find the answers you seek. I'm going to tell you quickly a little bit about where you can get in touch with Dr. Frank Snipes and his medical practice. They're located 3075 East Commercial Boulevard, Suite 1A in Fort Lauderdale. They're here to discuss, like I said, hypertension and how it's diagnosed and why it's important. And in the second half, we're going to actually be talking about this and the natural way of healing this with Tom Widerski. He is another person who works with Eve at the Presti Medical Group. So I am going to kick it to a very quick commercial and then come back with our guest sitting next to me, the beautiful naturalist, natural healer, hypnotist, fabulous person that you'll definitely want to hear more from, Eve Presti, and the very knowledgeable, experienced Dr. Frank Snipes.
Stay Alive and Fit is your weekly dose of information about health, wealth, fitness, or food, so you can live longer, age gracefully, and stay alive and fit. Stay tuned. Liz will be right back. Don't turn that dial, or you just might miss this week's healthy hot tip. Introducing VIP Event Production Group. New York, LA, and South Florida join together to become the upcoming VIP premier event and decor production company. We are an in-house, full-service, quality social and corporate design team with a combined 60 years experience. For your convenience, we have a complete showroom with floral, lighting, room draping, and dance floor wrapping designs. Our staff includes event coordinators, videographers, photographers, along with DJs and entertainment. To complement your event, we have an online website with promotional items and party favors. To book your event, call 888-727-8997 or go online to VIPproductiongroup.com.
Hey, welcome back to Stay Alive and Fit. So before I welcome my guest that I know you're waiting breathlessly to hear from, Eve Presti and Dr. Frank Snipes, I want to tell you that Eve Presti's practice is actually called Prestige. It's a great play on words because her husband is Dr. Presti in his medical group practice. And Prestige is actually a wellness and aesthetics center that's located directly upstairs from Dr. Presti's center. Now, tonight, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about why I should care about high blood pressure in men. So here's what I have found out is some very important information, and then we'll open up the discussion to my guests. High blood pressure in men and women is a very big problem. 1 in every 3 adult Americans, about 65 million people, have high blood pressure, which is, as we talked about, known as hypertension. Many more at risk at developing it, and over half of all Americans age 60 and older have it in their lifetime, and 90% of them have a risk of developing it at some point, which is just like crazy, crazy numbers. So I'm going to open up the cameras if my producer doesn't mind so that everybody can see our lovely guest sitting next to me. And I'm going to ask them some pertinent questions about, the right foods to eat and what people can do. I mean, I have found before I get there 5 causes for blood pressure, and I want to make sure that I am correct in stating what those are. For instance, stress, weight, lack of exercise, diet, and genetics. And I've also been, reading that in order to heal that, people are told to do the DASH diet. And I'd like to know what the DASH diet is and exactly what, whether I'm right, because this is the information I get on the internet and that's the information everybody gets. But what does that mean, really, the DASH diet? Like, what does that mean? And what is high blood pressure? And why does everybody seem to have it?
You want to say something?
Well, I think nowadays a lot of people are always on the go. They're rushing. They don't have time to really go within, to spend time in the morning, to meditate, to think of all the things they're grateful for. Because as soon as that alarm goes off in the morning, they're ready to go out the door and they're in a rush. So it causes high levels of stress in the body. And we all know that high levels of stress lead to inflammation in the body. And inflammation leads to disease and hypertension. So there's a big correlation with the mind, the body, everything is holistically. That's what my approach is, to approach the mind. When we get the mind in a very relaxed meditative state, we go within ourselves and we just really focus on ourselves and the love from our hearts. We open up the chakras and the balance is restored in the body. That's when we go back to wellness. And my philosophy is when there's something is out of balance in life, your mind or your body, or if you're stressed out, that's when things occur. But when you're in a relaxed state, everything is fine. And all the chakras in your body are balanced, and your spirit is shining, and your aura is strengthened. And when you have a strong aura of happiness, nothing can disturb the sense of peace.
Well, I have to say, welcome, Eve, to the show. You are gorgeous, fabulous. I mean, I have no idea how old you are, but I know what.
It's a secret.
I know approximately how old your husband is, and I know how long you've been in practice, so I can guess. But you look like unbelievable. I mean, you are stunning.
This is what she does.
I work out every day for an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes,
What
I
is
do.
Meditates and all.
What's your workout routine?
I have the Vitamix. Well, every morning I wake up at 6:30, and I put my veggies in the Vitamix, a little bit of ice and water, some little bit of protein, and I work out and I do strength training, cardio, for a good hour every day, sometimes two. I'll go for a bike ride later in the day, and then I get up and I do my meditations, and I think of all the things I'm grateful for, and then I go to my practice and I help people overcome certain habits like smoking, nail biting, fear of flying, fear of driving, weight loss. There's a whole array of things that I help people with, and that's my life passion. I was a banker for over 20 years, and as you know, life was really stressful for me. Now things are a little bit laid back, and I suffered a health issue in 2012. I was in a constant state of panic, or I was just doing too much, and then something happened to me and I said, whoop, I'm going to take a step back, and I did. And that's when I really, really got to know myself and just send myself love, and I healed myself naturally and with medicine as well.
Well, so I can't wait to hear your story, but I'd like to save that for the second half of the show, and maybe even for a time that I'll bring you back in the show, and it'll be all about that story, because I think it would be really interesting for folks to hear how you can bring yourself back from a health issue and change your life. But because this evening is about men's health, and it's our last day focusing on men and men's health, and it's about hypertension, I really want to, if you don't mind, Eve, focus the show a little bit on how you can help them heal. And in the beginning part of the show, talk a little bit about your husband's practice and the medical doctors that are in that practice that can help men, and they can call in and speak to men in your practice or women in your practice and help them heal if they have this particular issue. Sure. And then the second half, we'll bring Tom in here, and we'll talk about the ways you and Tom can help on a natural side. And then my hope is to bring you in here regularly, as you know, because there's so many amazing facets to your husband's practice and now your practice, which I didn't even know about. Yes. And I'm a naturalist, girlfriend. I mean, I was a rock climber in LA.
Awesome.
I'm a backpacker.
You're beautiful as well. You're gorgeous.
Thank you, sweetheart. And I could talk all day long about the stuff you're talking.
Your skin is stunning too. You can tell you eat healthy.
Oh, thank
Very well.
you.
I can see that in your skin. It's beautiful, and your eyes are shining.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Yes.
Oh, I love this girl.
You're describing a dog.
Your light is on. Yeah.
That's why like a veterinarian. Her coat is shining like a dog.
That's what I love about Dr. Snipes. He tells it like it is. I should just start barking.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Get your shots.
Girls love to compliment each other. It's what we do, right?
Absolutely.
Either we're hating each other or we're loving on each other. And this show's about loving on each other.
Sure is, yes.
But this particular episode, since it is our last, listen, I don't dedicate a lot of time to men on these shows. I spend more time talking about women, but this particular show is all about the man and about hypertension and high blood pressure and whether it leads to depression or obesity and how that affects us. So if you don't mind, I'd like to, first of all, ask you to repeat your address, your office address, and how people can get in touch with any of the doctors at your facility. And if you can at least let the audience know who those doctors are and what they do at your practice.
Sure. The address is 3075 East Commercial Boulevard. We have Dr. Snipes, and Dr. McWhorter, internal medicine doctors, Dr. Smoller, he's an endocrinologist. We have Nurse Jackie Woods. And we have a very, very good medical practice that's been thriving for over 30 years. And they help with hypertension and so many array of health issues internally. Dr. Snipes, you can add on to that as well.
Are you predominantly men, women, children?
All ages.
All ages. I would say more women come into a practice typically because men are just not the greatest of patients.
And that's the point of this show, right? Dr. Snipes, you and I have talked about this at great length in the last couple of months, that our goal is to help men understand how important it is for them to come and be seen and not just like wipe it under the rug, which a lot of them do. So can you please tell me, why do so many men have hypertension and what causes that?
Well, both men and women do, but we're focusing on men for a minute. Years ago, nobody really knew in the medical community what hypertension was, what values to follow, what was good, what was not. As heart attacks, cardiovascular illness, dissections of the aorta, renal failure became more prominent, they began to tighten down and began to find out what was the appropriate blood pressure. The bottom line is men just need, as well as women, to get checked and monitor their blood pressure. Basically, it's a silent killer, as they say. And many times, in fact, I was at a health fair this past weekend, and two people walked up. They had their blood pressure taken, both men and women, and they were extremely high. So it can be a very passive, with no symptoms, illness. And there's multiple medical treatments that can help it tremendously, as well as what Eve Presti was talking about. Because when I went to medical school 1,000 years ago, nobody talked about that.
So I know I really want to get into that with Eve in the second half when Tom is sitting here, because I know there's lots of healthy ways to heal yourself, and the DASH diet is one of those. I'm not sure. Eve, do you know what that is, or is that something I should kick to?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
So
no.
Do you know what that is, Doctor?
Oh, no, really.
Okay, so apparently the DASH diet, which is what the new way of treating this hypertension, they say it's called the DASH diet. It can lower blood pressure because it has less salt, it's less sugar than the typical American diet, and it cuts out desserts, sweetened beverages, fats, and meat and processed meats. It says women who follow this diet, reduce their risk of coronary disease and stroke. So I'm sure it's just another method that I saw on the internet. But they basically say avoid salt, they're actually saying don't eat salt or sodium, but you can eat sugar, like for a high blood pressure. So that's kind of a good thing about it. They're telling you certain foods that you should eat, and specifically potassium. That's very important, I guess.
It is for the vascular space, yeah.
From a medical perspective, what needs to be done? If you're how do you get diagnosed with hypertension? What are the health risks, and what does a patient need to immediately do to control this disease from a medical standpoint?
Number one, just get monitored. People can have their own blood pressure cuff from a Walgreens, Walmart, any place, pharmacy. Take it. Anything over roughly 120, 130 on the top number, and the bottom number roughly 80, 85. Anything in that range is considered normal. It's important for people to know that it's going to vary from time to time. It's going to go up when you have bad days and the policeman's behind you. It's going to be better when you've had a great day. So it varies, it fluctuates. But get tested and monitor it. The reason it's important is because it harms the inner lining of the arteries, the coronary arteries, and every other artery, including the kidneys, the brain, and eventually that becomes a tremendous target where eventually, if people have horrible enough kidney failure, they wind up on dialysis. People can have strokes and so on and so forth. So it's a very long-term event.
Is it like the silent killer in a sense? Because most people don't know they have it?
That's the problem. Most people don't know. And I have to admit, even people who do know they have it quite often don't monitor it the way they should. It's not atypical to find a patient and say, well, when's the last time you checked your blood pressure? Well, the last time you did, So they need to be really mindful and monitor this on a routine basis.
It sounds like you have a phone call. We do.
Okay.
We have a Joe on the phone. Hi, Joe. How are you? Welcome to Stay Alive and Fit.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good
I have
afternoon.
a sort of a question and concern. I used to be an athlete, and I gained some weight, a lot of weight lately, and I was diagnosed with hypertension, and I'm kind of freaking out about it, and I need to know what's my next step and what I should expect, and if I lose the weight, would I need medication and things like that?
Let me ask you, how old are you now?
I'm 50.
50. Was there a family history of hypertension, your dad, your mother, and so on?
My mother.
Okay. A lot of it is genetic, so we can blame your parents in this case. However, as
Finally, a reason to blame
finally
Mom.
a reason, yeah, Dad really gave me this disease. But basically, that does really, in fact, play a role. At the same time, you said you were an athlete. I have no idea if you were on other medications to help, with the performance. That can certainly add to the hypertension risk as well. Obesity or increased weight certainly does as well. And to answer your question directly, if you were to lose weight, depending on how much you are right now, it may contribute tremendously, or it may make just a modest difference. But the good thing is we live in 2016, and there's plenty of medications to help. And I want to say this also, it's important for men's health. A lot of men are concerned about side effects of blood pressure medicine, particularly with respect to love life and so on. And there are medications now that can be tremendously effective without affecting that area.
Great. We don't want to affect that area.
That's right. That's right.
Do you have a follow-up question, Joe, or did the doctor answer your question?
Well, what do I have to expect as far as let's say I don't lose weight. I mean, would I be on the medication for the rest of my life with this, or eventually I want to lose weight, and those are my concerns. Like, would I have to take medication? Because I don't like taking. You were asking me before if I ever take any medication or anything when I was an athlete. I hate taking medication. I don't even like taking aspirins. So that's the reason why I'm concerned. I don't want to be taking medication for the rest of my life.
Eve can certainly address some of those other areas, but let me just give you my little 2 cents worth. If, in fact, it kept you feeling good and healthy the rest of your life, it would be a small price to pay just to take, 1 or 2 medications. I've got hypertension myself. I take 2 tablets at night, and I never have a problem, never have a side effect with it. And I know it's going to be good for me in the long run. But I'll turn it to Eve, because, Eve, there are some other areas that
yes, I would like to add prevention is the best medicine, but weight loss, when you make it the lifestyle change, people say, oh, it's a diet, I want to go on a diet. But once you start making small changes, and then those changes that you make become a habit, that's a lifestyle change. Changes in maybe you'll do some more walking in the morning, maybe you'll just introduce more greens into your diet, more water. You'll make healthy choices. You'll check in with your body and say, is this good for me? Is this going to promote health and wellness? And you're going to really be more mental when you make those decisions. What you buy in the grocery store, are you going to spend time in the outer perimeters of the greens instead of where the snacks are? Are you going to make healthy choices? It's all a mental thing. So you're going to check in with yourself. And once you make those subtle changes, then it's going to become a lifestyle. It'll become natural. After usually 21 days, you'll make, it's when I have it, forms, and you'll see it, and you'll see the difference. And I hope and I think in the future you will be off these medications, and you're going to be feeling good and doing things, and you're just going to be amazed, and you'll do it. I feel you will.
That's my goal.
Is it possible, Doctor, for Joe to, if he wanted to take the medication for a short time, and let's say he went to see Eve and she was helping him with meditation and with hypnosis and helped him lose weight, that he could get off the medication, being someone like me who doesn't like to take medication? Or is that something that really, once you get diagnosed, you really will be on medication the rest of your life?
Not necessarily. It could happen with weight reduction, stress reduction, improved diet, and so on. I will say, though, that a lot of people, if they're on medication for their hypertension, they may have to reduce it. They may be on a smaller amount. But again, it's a worthwhile trade-off.
Absolutely.
And I think the thing I want to bring to is that Eve's approach and my approach are not one or the other, but they can certainly combine and blend.
Holistically.
And the two of them can be tremendously powerful, more than just one or the other.
Right.
So
complementary.
Sorry, Eve?
Absolutely complementary. The one complements the other.
So, Joe, is there any other questions, or have you gotten the answers you were seeking?
I'm feeling pretty good at what I heard, and I need to make some changes.
If you have any other questions for the doctor and it's about a different topic, you can always feel free to call and listen to the show every week, or to ask a question and email me at liz@stayaliveandfit.com, or call us at 888-565-1470. Thanks so much for listening in, Joe, and we really appreciate your phone call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great show.
Thank you, Joe. Have a good evening.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you so much. And listen, before I forget, next week we are going to be going to a new day and time. I definitely don't want to forget to tell you about that. We're going to be going to Thursday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m. It's a better spot, folks. We're actually going to be during drive time. Hopefully, we're going to pick up a lot of listeners. And it's a better night, better evening. And hopefully the doctor's sitting to the side to me, to my right here. We're going to be part of our show on a more regular basis. It's, I've been working them, trying to get them to do it because I think they're fabulous. And they always put on a good show. Dr. Snipes has been here 2 or 3 times now. And it was great when Dr. McWhorter was here, and I'm looking forward to seeing Tom. So we're going to go to the half-hour break in about 1 minute. I just want to wrap it up with Dr. Snipes and see if there's any quick tips he can give us about, prevention or the best steps that could be taken to help with anybody, especially men, and how they can come and see him and call him directly.
Men, go to your doctor. If not, come to Presti Medical. It's 3075 East Commercial, Suite 1A, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 33308, and the number is 954-491-6200.
And I know, Dr. Snipes, you like to give men a kind of list breakdown of what they need to do and what they should get into their doctors to see. So it doesn't just have to be about hypertension today. I know you're very passionate about men who don't come to the doctor that maybe have depression and other issues. If you want to just do a top 10 reasons that you're for June Men's Health, I'm putting you on the spot. Give me the top 10 reasons men need to go see you right now.
Their prostate health, their hypertension, depression in men, which is an entirely big topic, diabetes, we haven't even talked about that very much, arthritis, nutrition, stress, compliance on medications, which is a big one for men, and just get into a physician.
Prostate health, which was our discussion last week, and just all around, sexual erectile dysfunction, things that people are afraid to talk about. Even if your wife is begging you and pleading with you to get in to see the doctor, and sometimes because you think you're getting old, you're having memory loss or, lower libido, all of these things are not necessarily normal, folks. They actually aren't normal. And just because you're 60 or 70 doesn't necessarily mean it is normal, right, Doc?
I'll say earlier today, I saw 2 male patients that felt poor, they felt fatigued, they felt like they had a low sex drive. Both of them were low in testosterone. We're getting them both taken care of.
With hormone therapy,
With hormone therapy.
You were on the show talking about endocrinology and hormone therapy a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sure that you've been getting some good responses pertaining to that show. And so if you would like to meet Dr. Snipes or call him, his direct number is
954-491-6200.
And if you'd like to ask questions on this show, he's going to be standing by off camera because we're going to be bringing in Tom, who works in the natural holistic aspect of Presti Medical, which is the Prestige Wellness and Aesthetics, which I love that name. And we're going to meet with Tom in just a few minutes. We're going to kick it to a break. Don't go away, folks, because you need to hear all the ways that you can help yourself if you're male without going on medication. There's lots of things you can do to reduce your stress, reduce your weight, reduce your hypertension, get your sex drive back up, bring up your memory, make your life better without meds, without doctor appeal, just by seeing a doctor's wife. Dr. Presti's Eve Presti at Prestige Wellness and Aesthetics. See you in a few minutes, guys.
After the break, our healthy hot topic of the week. Stay tuned to AM 1470 WNN. You're listening to Stay Alive and Fit with Liz Goodman. Live local, have a fitness or health question? Ask Liz, and you just might be called to guest star on her next show. Experience what it's like to get VIP medical treatment live, in person, on the air. Email your health or fitness questions or suggestions to Liz at stayaliveandfit.com. Ask Liz on Facebook, follow her on Twitter, or post a photo to Instagram. And watch Stay Alive and Fit on amp2.tv or listen right here on WNN 1470. Introducing VIP Event Production Group. New York, LA, and South Florida joined together to become the upcoming VIP premier event and decor production company. We are an in-house, full-service, quality, social, and corporate design team with a combined 60 years experience. For your convenience, we have a complete showroom with floral, lighting, room draping, and dance floor wrapping designs. Our staff includes event coordinators, videographers, photographers, along with DJs and entertainment. To complement your event, we have an online website with promotional items and party favors. To book your event, call 888-727-8997 or go online to vipproductiongroup.com.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Stay Alive and Fit. I got a text from one of our listeners that the streaming live is not working, so I apologize for that. I'm not really sure what is going on with it. I know we've been having some technical difficulties, but that will be changing soon when we go to Thursday nights. And we will be going to Thursday nights starting in July. You won't be seeing us Monday nights at 7 anymore, folks, so make sure to write it down in your books. And remember that we will put it on your calendars that we are moving to 6 p.m. Thursday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. And Stay Alive and Fit. If you want to contact us or like us on Facebook, we'd really appreciate it. Share us with your friends. Call us while we're on the air at 888-565-1470. Email me anytime questions at liz@stayaliveandfit.com. And tune into us at 1470. So tonight's topic is about hypertension in men, and which basically means high blood pressure. And it's about ways, because June is Men's Health Month, it's about ways to help men recognize that they need to get help with their health. But not all men need to go to see a doctor on a regular basis to get all the help they need. Sometimes they need to go see a natural healer to reduce their stress, to reduce the pressures in their lives, to help them learn to meditate, to take a breath. And sometimes those natural treatments will help heal them, and they may not need medical or medicine. I mean, they always need to check in with their doctor first before getting a natural treatment, but natural healings combined with medical-based healing is really the best solution. And this show is about an amazing, unbelievable practice that has been in business for more than 30 years. A well-known, wonderful doctor named Dr. Presti. He's based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And his wife, his lovely, beautiful wife, who's sitting beside me, Eve Presti, she runs the natural healing part of his practice, which is right upstairs, and it's called Prestige Wellness and Aesthetics. And Dr. Paul Presti's office is at 3077 East Commercial Boulevard. Or maybe that's the...
3075 is his office, and 3077 is the wellness center, right next door, upstairs.
So they're right upstairs, so that's very convenient. You can go get checked out by your doctor downstairs and immediately go make an appointment upstairs to get a massage, to get hypnosis, to learn how to meditate, to get a facial, to get all the wonderful things that you need to feel better every day. You can call them at 954-263-9555. Now, is that the same number?
That is my number, yes.
So what's Dr. Presti's number then? Do you know that one by heart? I'm quizzing you.
954-646-0150.
Awesome.
Or if you want the office, it's 954-491-6200. That's a better number because our office manager or whoever answers the phone can take the appointments to see the doctor. So
wonderful,
that's
wonderful.
the office number, yes.
And tonight, I just got a text from my producer folks saying that the new live way to watch the show, which I did not know about, so I'm just learning this as you guys are. That's what live radio is all about. We are now on wwnnradio.com. That's wwnnradio.com. That is the way you can see us live on the air. So everything's changing here at 1470. I know we're going to be going FM soon. I know that we're going to Thursday nights. So there's a lot of great, wonderful things happening. Tonight's episode or topic of discussion is hypertension in men and men's health in general. And sitting beside the beautiful Eve Presti is a wellness coach. And I don't want to destroy his name, but I'm going to try to pronounce it. I just met him myself, and he seems very knowledgeable for the few minutes of conversation we had. His name is Tom Wodarski. Is that Polish? Wodarski.
Yes, it is Polish, yeah.
Okay, so at least that's my heritage too, a little bit. So I should be able to pronounce that. My grandma would me if I couldn't say that right. So
that's not too bad.
It wasn't terrible. So Tom Wodarski is a health coach.
Health coach.
So can you explain a little bit what that means and how, like, what happens when somebody comes to your practice? the first person they see is you, Eve, or how does the whole thing work?
When they come, they call and they make an appointment. If there are different reasons. Someone might want teeth whitening or skin care, or to lose weight through hypnosis, or just to eat better. And so they would call me or Tom, and Tom has his own number and his own brochure. And we have a website. It's www.prwell.com, and on that you can see all the practitioners and what we do on the website. So that would be a great tool to use to do that.
How many practitioners do you have?
We have just the three of us upstairs right now, but we have like acupuncture by appointment. So if someone needs acupuncture, we can you can come in and we can set up an appointment for that as well.
So what happens? They come up, they make an appointment with you, and what are your specialties? Like, you do hypnosis.
I'm a Reiki master. I'm a hypnotist, and a life coach as well. So I have a client actually who has high blood pressure, and since he's been seeing me, his numbers are just getting so much better, and I'm incorporating the great foods, the greens, the walking, trying to get off the sodas, the sugary foods, and I could just see that he's losing the weight, he's feeling better, he's looking better, he's taking better care of himself, and just through being a life coach, I've clicked on something in his brain to just eat better and really get better care of himself. So it really does work.
So what does that mean, being a life coach?
Life coach is like directing someone, like someone who has doesn't know what path to take, or they have questions in their career or with health issues, relationship issues, anything that they just need someone to discuss their issues with, problems, and I'm there to help them think of innovative ways to solve their solutions to every situation out there. It's how the mind is, and I believe in a positive approach to everything, because the mind has an ability sometimes to see things or feel things that are not really there. So when you click on and you just subliminally remove anything that's negative and just exchange it for a positive thought, a positive feeling, it's life-changing, because that's energy. I believe positive thoughts attract great energy, and you're like a magnet to whatever you put out into the universe. It comes right back to you through your magnetic energy, your auric field. And that's very important.
So are your styles different, Tom, than, what's the difference between making an appointment to see with Eve versus making an appointment to speak with you, Tom? Is it a slightly different way of operating or managing a client? I'm sure everybody has their own style.
We actually blend pretty well together, and my look on people is, but nutritional-wise, what they put in their mouth. You got to put the good stuff in and get the good stuff out. And if you look at the word coach on any sports out there, if you're individual sports, being swimming or tennis, or compared to a team sport, there's always a coach on the sidelines, and you don't even know who that coach is. So how we work, we're on the sidelines looking at someone. We actually meet with somebody for about an hour session. And after we get to know them a little bit, we can tell a lot of people, they eat on habits. They've been eating like this for their quite a while of their life. They've eaten like their mom eats like this. And a lot of hereditary stuff, I always see it's always the hereditary of how your mom ate, not so much the medical ways, but they've always cooked like this, they've always done this way, and that's what attributes to why they're like the same thing with their parents. So if we look at it like that and we say, okay, why don't you do this, and look at the nutritional wise, and I had people give me a food journal for a week. And I'll dissect that food journal. I'll see exactly how many calories they're taking in, how much protein they're taking in, or they're not taking in, and look at all the junk they're taking in. I have to be honest with them when they do that. And then I'm putting all the calorie content to that. And once people really see that on a weekly basis, they say, wow, really? And they're looking at all the processed foods, the junk foods, and that's where a lot of high sodium is. And doctors will tell you that salt in a box is a heart attack waiting to happen. And then they add salt to that. But if we can get them off and steer them to the natural foods, cooking for themselves, a lot of people are going to, and even how they cook at home, we teach them how to do that also. And it takes a little while to do that. And when people realize, and then you start changing their habits a little bit, that's where Eve comes on, and she can kind of hypnotize
work
them
with the brain,
to work and to get off of those habit foods that they've been eating for the last 20 years of their life. And if we can get them off of that and putting the good things in, good things out, then their weight will start dropping naturally. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. And so it's a lifelong commitment. You have to do it as long as you possibly can, because there's nobody can do it for you. And we have to stop self-inflicting ourselves. And that's what I teach people how to do.
So it sounds to me like you really focus and specialize on the nutritional aspect of eating, and like what I was talking about earlier. Somebody with high blood pressure or hypertension, they really have to watch They need to add potassium and magnesium to help control their blood pressure. And it says fruits and vegetables are very high in those things, like apples and apricots and bananas.
Even
and
corn's high in potassium.
And corn and all those things. So you would basically work with the patient on how they can use food to help reduce their illness. And then, if I'm correct, we'd have Eve work with the patient on, hypnosis and relaxation exercises and meditation. And between both of your styles of life coaching, they're going to get a well-rounded, a natural, organic way of improving their life.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Correct.
It's a lifestyle change.
Just like you
Exactly.
exercise at the gym, you're going to exercise your brain to think positively. It's brain training. It's doing the right things for the right reasons to live a long time, to live way out into your hundreds. If you take care of your body will take care of yourself.
And also, I talk about functional exercise. Functional exercise is what we do on a daily basis just to live. I mean, even for, let's face it, we can actually go to our pharmacy, go pick up our dry cleaners, go get our fast food, all without getting out of our car, out through drive-through. Okay, don't do that.
Right.
Okay, don't look for the closest place to park and when you go to the store. Find the
that's
farthest
great.
place. All these little things add up in the course of a day, and that makes a big difference. Big difference.
That's really great advice. I mean, I know that a lot of people don't think about the simple little things they can do to help themselves. Like you said, just, walk up your steps 10 times. And there's not a lot of steps in Florida, but it's something to do if you have them. If you have an office with steps, don't take the elevator, take the steps, right?
Exactly. I've worked with people in office buildings to where there's like this building's 5 stories. I'd rather use the restroom on this floor, go downstairs, use the restroom on the floor below, and then walk back up. It's just simple things like that they don't even think about. And they start doing those things, those changes in their life, and it does make a difference in their life.
So before we get too far into it, I just want to make sure people know how to get in touch with you. If you can please tell our listeners, Tom, how they can get in contact with you if they want to hire you guys.
The best place is the website, prwell.com, and my phone number is 239-253-3050. And Prestige Medical, they all know us there, and at 3077 East Commercial.
Upstairs, yes.
So let me ask you guys, if you had to start with me as a patient, let's say, walk me through what the experience would be like. I'd walk in and I almost picture this like serene place with like smells and aromas and things like that, right?
Salt lamps.
I could just tell by looking at you guys that it's going to have
Very
that
zen, yes.
very zen,
Yes,
very
tranquil.
waterfall-y water. Like, I can feel it coming off of you, right?
Yes.
And I don't know you guys, but I could just tell
Yeah,
that that's what it would be like. And I'd be hit with these aromas, and I would feel like just good as soon as I walked in the door. And then what would be, and I'm looking at, what your let me just see. I have a pamphlet you guys gave me, actually. So I can walk in and I can walk out with bright teeth, which I definitely need.
Beaming white smile, yes.
Now, what does ultraviolet activator mean?
That's the blue light that we use for the teeth whitening that activates the whitening compound.
It's an LED accelerator. It's
Okay.
a machine that we aim it at the teeth. There's a little plastic mouth guard with the gel, the 44% carbamide peroxide, and it's a gel, and it's an accelerator. So the machine beams the light right onto the teeth and accelerates the whitening process.
So how is that different than going to my dentist? Is it faster? Is it healthier? Is it more natural format, or is it just a convenience factor?
I would say convenience factor.
Okay, because if I'm coming in to get
Sure.
beautified, I may as well get
Exactly.
top to bottom, inside and out, beautified, right?
Exactly.
Yes, and we have
exactly.
Patricia who does organic facials through Eminence. It's totally organic. I use like the blush on my face and the powder, and it's really good. And she gives a phenomenal facial at Prestige Wellness upstairs.
Ooh, I can't wait to try it.
It's very good. Yes.
And do you have products that you sell as well?
She sells makeup and different, products there. And we have designs for health. We have a whole line of nutraceuticals and vitamins that we sell through Designs for Health.
So tell me, like, I'm a guy now, and you're not going to catch me coming into a natural place. That's my attitude, right? Convince me that I'm a big guy who's got hypertension, who maybe was diagnosed with, prostate cancer or some other problems. Convince me why I can't live without your health coaching and how coming to you is worth it, because it's going to change my life and help me reduce all of these issues that are going in my life.
First, when you come in, I have to really feel out where your mind is at. I have to do an intake on you to see, really how you feel and how long this has been going, your lifestyles, your habits. I really have to get to know you first. And then once I feel a connection with you, I tap into why you want to do this, and I want to find out about your health issues. And I can see, let's say you're really 40, 50 pounds overweight, and you're so lethargic, and you get up in the morning, you really don't want to get up and go, and you're kind of depressed, and you're not feeling well, and you're just like, don't have that spark. You just lost your sparkle. So I convince you that, wow, life is worth living because there's so much out there to do. There's so much to live, and every day is a beautiful day when you're alive, and there's so much to be thankful for. And so I tell you, I get you enthused and really excited about, I visualize what you're going to look like and give you a goal, like say in 3 months, you're going to be down 20 pounds. How is that going to look on you? How is it going to feel? What are you going to wear? Get you all excited. I take a before picture and really, really, do you have something that really you want to look forward to and somewhere you want to go? And do you have a special outfit you want to wear? And then I really get your mind set into a really positive place and get you all excited about losing weight and feeling good. And it just works. It's all mental.
Right, so you get into their head, which is like all good coaches know. The only way to coach somebody from the days they're playing football, baseball, soccer, when men are kids, is you got to get in their minds, you got to get in their heads, you got to get them going, right? So you got to play that little mind game. And being a gorgeous woman, you can work it. I know you can sit with that guy and you say, "Look at me. I'm the kind of woman that would go for a guy like you, but you need to do this, this, and that." And as soon as you say that, I'm sure they're going, "Okay, sweet, whatever you say." Because, hey, why not? I mean, they want to impress. That's what men do, right? Yeah. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's pretty much all about their libido. I mean, let's be realistic. It's all about preserving the libido. From. Am I wrong, Tom?
No, you're absolutely
Am I wrong, Dr. Snipes?
No, you're right.
That's right.
And if you see this gorgeous woman sitting next to you when you walk in the door, is it not going to be like, "I'm stuck it in my gut a little tighter"?
Yeah. Here's my World War II picture.
So, I mean, the point is, a guy will come in, they get the feeling that, I want to look good, I want to dress to succeed, and in order to do that, I got to lose weight. So now you say, I'm going to work with them on hypnosis, I'm going to talk to them about natural vitamins that we sell, I'm going to get their skin taken care of, and then they're going to go sit with Tom, and you're going to talk to them about all the ways they can eat healthier.
Exactly. We're going to do an intake form also with that, get in their mind a little bit, and see where they want to go, see what they want to be. And then we even hour together with that, and then nutrition and food, and we can do it. I'm a certified personal trainer too. If they want to do that, we can go that route. You don't have to exercise to be a really strong, but you don't have to do that. Metabolism doesn't really slow down as we age. We slow metabolism down by not doing what we used to do. And not going up the stairs, not parking where we're not playing in sports we used to play. So our metabolism slows down naturally a little bit, but we slow it down a lot by not laying on the couch more, watching more TV, just stuff like that slows our metabolism down naturally.
What does the intake form consist of? What would they have to fill out specifically?
Personal questions that we need to know where they're at in life, per se, what their goals are, what the medicines they're on.
Their health history.
Health history forms, what that is, basically.
And I assume you guys are HIPAA certified, right?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yes.
I just want to make sure our audience knows.
We have license insurance,
and our listeners know that, anything they tell you is kept secretive and confidential.
Absolutely, 100%.
You bet.
Thanks for correcting me.
Yes.
And we talk about secrets, but it's confidential. I'm
100%.
actually HIPAA certified also, so I've been certified. I've worked with people in the past to help them. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But not doing what you do by any sense of the word. But, I think it's really wonderful because, what makes your practice or your husband's practice stand out and different is not only do they have the history and the longevity of being there for 30 years, which to me, speaks for itself, speaks volumes, and have several great doctors who are working in the practice. And we've gotten to know Dr. Snipes quite well and some of the other doctors. But right upstairs is the naturopathy that you could take. So you've got medicine and you've got natural medicine. And, I think that's sort of a lot of what my concept was when I began the show. It's sort of when East meets West, what do you get? And the practice of Dr. Presti is exactly why I started the show, because originally my goal was to get a chef, a nutritionist, a former ball player on the program with a medical company and talk about all the ways East meets West. And that will be the direction we are going as we grow in the future. And clearly, and I keep on pushing it because I want you guys to be part of this, because I know that there's so much you guys have to offer. And as we are growing over the next couple of months, and as we're moving towards FM, and as we're going to grow our listenership, I want them to understand that this is the place they can come to find out about things like, and I know we didn't talk about this tonight, but about acupuncture and how that works together with, formal medications and medicines, and how sometimes acupunctures can be in lieu of medications, depending on, if you work together with your doctor. And what better place to do that than in a practice that actually offers the two practices together. Not many places do that. And I know you're not necessarily merged, but you are in a sense, because you're in the same location, same building, and you're the same team. And I think that's really, more power to you. You offer people the full gamut of services.
Absolutely.
That was East Vision. East Vision bringing East and West together to make this happen.
I said
Absolutely
that
right.
day one when we opened.
I didn't even know that,
The
right?
conversion,
no.
my vision was to converse Eastern and Western medicine together as one holistic approach. And that's exactly, you hit the nail on the head there, Liz.
And
Yes.
we have access to a wellness chef, too. A wellness chef can take recipes.
Sue, his wife, yes.
Take a recipe from somebody, and she
There
takes
you
that
go.
recipe to
Yeah.
something you've done in your whole life, and just take this fat out, that fat out, add this in, make it more nutritional, less calories and higher nutritional value, and taste good.
You guys
Get that
are
deal.
the whole real deal. You guys are what I'm looking for. I mean, I need a chef. It's what I'm looking for. I have a couple of chefs that are very interested in doing the program, but before I entice them all, we'll sit and talk, and hopefully you guys will write in and tell us how much, you want to learn more about all of these things that are being offered to you on this show. I mean, the point of this show is to help you tap into the best possible VIP medical care you can get these days. And a lot of people just can't get what they used to get. Is any of what you do covered at all, or is it not at all covered?
No, but it's in like medical journals. It's being recognized. I see it in the paper, Wall Street Journal. So hypnotism and
Health coach, you're getting real close.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're
Yes,
on the
real close.
verge of precipice of it being recognized and certified. For insured.
I think insurance companies are seeing now, too, that it's better to prevent diseases rather than treat them when they're there. I think
Well-
the whole insurance is coming around to that point.
I know that from when I was working with, in the early days of the show, we were working with Tenet Health and Tenet Florida Physician Services, and most of the doctors I interviewed were interventional medical doctors. So that's the whole point of the word intervention, right? Yes. Interventional. There never used to be that term, I don't think, interventional medicine the way it's being used now. And, that's what I think the whole point of this show is, that if we can help ourselves, then we won't need to be spending so much money on medications. Listen, I have nothing against medications, and I have some great compound pharmacies that have been part of this program in the past. And the last show that we did with Tri-Coast RX, and they're fabulous. And when you need medications, I still believe you should go to a company like Tri-Coast, because they're going to mix it for you, and they're going to know your history, right? At their hands, versus just, a big pharma company where they don't really know you personally. So I do believe that when there's a need and a time for medication, you have to take it. But you also need to have a good naturopathic person behind you, so that you're not just getting all your information from one direction. So this show is about being fit, focused, and fabulous at any age, and learning the ways that you can do it, and providing VIP information for the masses. I need you guys to remember to write down on your calendars that we are moving next week to Thursdays at 6 p.m., same station, 1470. We're hopefully going to be seeing more of Dr. Presti's office and all the wonderful people from the Natural Wellness Center to the medical practice, along with many other guests that you'll be looking forward to hear from us about, like chefs and fitness experts, and just a wide variety of medical knowledge that you're going to get from the show. We're going to do some hot topics. We're going to do some breaking news segments. We're going to have call-ins from the American Cancer Society and some of the other cancer centers. And we're going to have lots of great groundbreaking medical information. So before we say goodbye, ta-ta and arrivederci, and see you next week, and happy 4th of July and all the other things, because I think it's 4th of July next week, isn't
Next
it?
weekend,
On
correct.
Monday.
Goodness,
Next Monday,
this
yeah.
is flying by. So happy 4th of July. Happy Red, White, and Blue. Great movie I saw, by the way, which you guys should all see, which was with Matthew McConaughey, which was Free Joan State, which is a
really?
great movie for the 4th of July. It's based on real facts about the Civil War. And I know that's not my show, but I think that it's really worth seeing, and it was really fascinating. And it's about a nurse, by the way, in the Civil War who helped people. So that brings us all circling back.
Wow.
I want to thank my guest, Dr. Frank Snipes, and I want to thank my guest, Dr. Not doctor, but kind of like a doctor, Eve Presti and Tom
Thank you,
Wodorski.
Yes.
I just did
Yep.
that by
Got
heart. I
it.
can't
Yeah,
believe I
yeah,
got it
good
right.
job.
I want to give out their number one last time, which is at 954-263-9555, and it's 3077 East Commercial Boulevard, and that's in Fort Lauderdale. And Dr. Snipes' telephone number is, do you know that one by heart?
954-491-6200. And then Tom has his number.
239-253-3050.
Any last words for folks before we say goodbye?
One thing I like to say is how important water is to people. Half your body ounces in water a day. So that whatever you weigh, half your body ounces of water a day makes a big, big difference.
I'll drink to that.
So thank you to my guests. Thank you for listening, everybody. I am really excited about our new date and time. Put it on your calendars, Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m., starting next week. Enjoy your 4th of July. Come back, email, write, text at liz@stayaliveandfit.com. We're here at www.1470 AM, Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m. And we cannot wait to see you next week. Tell your friends. Thank you so much for listening, folks.
You've been listening to Stay Alive and Fit with Liz Goodman, a new innovative radio show that taps into what's happening now in the medical industry, featuring fitness experts, foodies, and medical professionals. Get it right here and be an active participant in your health. Mixed messages about what is best for your health can make you feel like you're on a runaway train. Get ready to hop aboard again next time for Stay Alive and Fit with Liz Goodman. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily